All right, guys. I haven't done one of these in a while. It's been forever. But I just want to recap on, basically, the start of this year. I just opened a 1K account challenge. So far, I'm up. I want to show it to you guys. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Um, so Robinhood. I'm up about like maybe see. So right here, you guys see. Oops, see this. If you guys can see this, so right now started with 1,000. Now it's 156. Past week, it's up about 15%, 15.6. Which is actually, honestly, it's pretty bad, but it's still something. The volatility we've been seeing in the beginning of January, it's just been crazy, and I haven't taken full advantage of it. Um, but it's still something. I'm being consistent. There have been no losers. I've been taking my gains on the way up, little by little, stair stepping up. So that's what counts. Just consistency, consistency. So that's my Robinhood account so far. Um, and the main theme of this week was Bitcoin. There were some COVID names that ran, um, and China, some of China, especially the China Bitcoin names like NCTY, FTFT. Those were huge. We saw a lot of sympathy, a lot of there's just been a bunch of volume coming in. At the start of the new year, it's just been insane. This week alone, I made 140K. It's my highest, my new PR week. So, today, let's see what we traded. Today I'm up, 30, just under 37,000. Mostly from, let's see, LMFA. I traded this thing a little bit. I was scalping this way up, and well, it had some SPAC news, similar to JAGX. JAGX had the same news, and LMFA came right after. So, and this thing is up crazy, up 300 and almost 400%. It's just been straight up, so that's crazy. Um, Another Bitcoin name, FTFT. This one was crazy at open. It's up nearly, let's see, I think almost 500%. Let's see. Okay, about 400%. So roughly 400%. This one ran from around like $2 to a high of 11. Insane, just from Bitcoin. And we just saw Bitcoin went from, it broke over 20K, then went to 30, and well, in about a week, it went from 30K to almost 40K in just a week, and that's just insane. So, do you guys have any questions so far? Any comments? Anything you guys want me to talk about? Just type them in recap chat. So, let's see what else went today. Yeah, APDN. This one had some COVID-19 news. It released some COVID-19 kit for the public. So this one went from $6 to a high of uh, just over 12. That trade seen it today. Um, think I did. I don't think I did actually. Hold on, let me look real quick. Let's see. Let me go to my order status. Oh, why is my empty here? Okay, so CNET, did I trade CNET? Actually, yeah, I did actually. I did trade CNET. So, what time was this? 12:15. So I'll show you guys where I entered in CNET. Let's see. So my first buy orders on CNET was at 12:15. So 12:15. Wow, this is later in the. Okay, so apparently I didn't trade CNET in the morning, but I did trade it midday here for potential squeeze. I traded it here. I entered on these dips right here. I bought some up here. I added some more down here. And it tried to go over 440, but it kind of looked like it was kind of acting heavy. So I immediately scaled some out just in case. And I was thinking about re-entering right here. Um, but it was looking weak over here. Like it tried to get over 435, and I was like, if it doesn't get over 435, I'm gonna be scaling the rest out. So it didn't get over 435s, so I had to stop out. I didn't even make much on this. This was just a little like a test, like okay, let me see, if this does go, either this goes or it doesn't. So it was one of those kind of trades. Um, yeah, the tickers I traded today was GRNQ, CNET JAGX, and LMFA. Those are the only tickers. So one, two, three, four names today. CNET, I don't really didn't want to count CNET really because that was just a kind of a feeler trade. But mostly three names. When you're day trading, you want to focus on the top names that are trading the most volume. You want to focus on where the money's at. And right now, in this market, the money is at in China names, blockchain names, Bitcoin names. That's where the money's at. That's where everyone's eyes are on. You'll be hearing a lot of people or traders, a bunch of noise telling you, oh, they're saying, oh, well, look at this stock, look at that stock. They're looking all over the place. But the one thing you have to be focused on is where the volume is at. Then second, what is the trend? Is it Bitcoin? What's the main trend? And once you have that figured out, um, you kind of have a guide where to look at. Joe, let's see, had a pretty good week. Um, got my PR $100 on the day, which is small, but small catch out is great. It's great. It's definitely great. Um, I've been noticing, Joe, he's his sometimes he mentions his ideas, and just looking at his ideas, for a second, I thought it was my own post, but it's not. It's Joe's idea, and it almost looks like mine. It's detailed throughout. He has um, he has pictures of charts, and he kind of compares and kind of says it. Has a detailed analysis on why what he thinks about this stock. Why it should run or why it could be a potential runner. This and that. So that's Um, you know, he's been studying my style, and it is almost very much the same. So I just sometimes the stocks he finds, I might be like a little slow on. Um, I've been kind of slacking right now, but I just been focused on some other things. But he's doing a really good job and definitely studying what what has to be focused on and what needs to be done. Um, do you guys have any other questions? Uh, but today was a decent day. Yesterday I traded really very 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 poorly yesterday. I missed out on big gains. The main mistake I made yesterday was I let the stock control me instead of me controlling the stock. Some people saying, you don't want to be married to a stock. And I kind of think of it that way. I was kind of too stuck on, like, I was stuck on that name. I was swinging NXTD, and it did go my way. It did go in my favor. But the thing is, I overstayed. I didn't scale out, and I was, making a very rookie mistake. I never scaled out. I didn't respect the technicals. I just, even though I was holding 100% of my position all the way up until 2, and never sold a single share. I was greedy. I was like, okay, after over 2, it's gonna go 250, maybe 3, maybe it'll hold throughout the day, and go even higher after hours. I was just making these unrealistic, or not just taking my gains, not taking my gains on the way up. Instead, I just held 100% of my position. I had all my buying power into this one stock, into NXTD, when I could have been when I could have been playing other names like XNet, FTFT, CNet, um, and I would have been well over 100 grand that day. That would have been my PR day, my PR week, very easily. But I didn't. I was stuck and made a very rookie mistake, and it paid off dearly. So I still was green. I still make like 22 grand. But at that, when it was at $2, if I had sold, I would be up like just just under 80 grand. And I didn't take it. Very rookie mistake of me. So for those that are having trouble taking profits, you always want to take profits on the way up. Never overstay, because it will bite you back. So some tips, simple tips when looking for a stock. So before looking for a stock, you want to know the trend. Let me give you guys an example. So like, if let's see, how Joe. A good example is, I don't know if you guys see, but if you guys go to the trade floor, his one of his recent posts on FTFT, he's first he picked FTFT. He recognizes it's a Bitcoin play. So first he knows the trend. It's a Bitcoin play. And he remembers IPDN, which is also key. Um, so he also goes out to releases, sharing its news. It's a leading blockchain e-commerce company. Um, and he was saying it reminds him of exactly when IPDN had Bitcoin news. FTFT is doing exactly the same. Um, China name, and he shows the charts, and they look very fairly similar. So that's one of the things you want to first recognize the trend. Recognize the trend, and then once you recognize the trend, you want to lay out some technicals. What is the pre-market highs? What's the low of day? Um, and you're like, okay, if this stock is going to go up, I have to look at the technicals. Where's the pre-market highs? So I should when you do buy stock, you always want to list the technicals first. Where is your target? You want to be realistic. Um, and also when you're in a trade, you have to also look at different time frames. I use the 1 5 minute and 30 minute. And sometimes when I look at a more larger time frame, when it has been about a couple hours or a few hours, I look at the hourly chart and 30 minute and sometimes 15 minutes. That all helps me time my trades. I should one day do a live recording of my live trading, especially in a hot market like this. That could be very good. Um, so yeah, that's one tip. Using time to your advantage. You want to look at different time frames. and you want to read the candles very well so you can time your trades. Um, because what whatever, for example, what looks good on a 1 minute chart might not look good on a 15-minute chart. On the 15-minute chart it might look very overextended, but on the 1 minute chart it might look like it could be actually breaking out. Um, so the time frames are very very important. You want to compare at all different time frames. What are my favorite patterns? Yes, flag patterns are also, it's everyone's trader's favorites. Everyone knows that. They're also called pennants. For example, let's see. So over here, if you guys look on my screen on CNET right here, let me draw something right here for you guys. So right here to here, and then right here. So this is somewhat like a, let's see, let's zoom in a little bit more here so we can see this clearly. Alright, so this is somewhat of a pennant right here. You see this triangle right here? This is called like a pennant, or some people say a triangle or flag. Um, so first, once it makes this higher low right here, this is sometimes people also call this like the ABCD pattern. In this case, this is the big move right here. I'll wait for a pullback, make its lows, and then some people expect this thing to maybe they say, oh, this thing's gonna go over, if it breaks over 360s or 355s, it's gonna go all the way back over 380s, and yeah, that may be the case. But most times, you want to be patient and let it go, let it pull back, let it let it get tight a little bit. Get it more tighter so you can have a more better visual where to enter. Because if you get in on here, you never know it's going to pull back on you. So in this case, if you were to get in at 360s and being a little bit impatient, it's going to very quickly turn back on you. So you need to wait a little bit. You can always scale in, but if you want to wait for a pattern, just wait. So in this case, it pulled back. It held this lower trend line right here, and that was around 340s. So maybe if this went back over 350s and break over this trend line, which is around 360s, then this has a very high possibility of moving higher in the next 1 and 5 minute candles. So yeah, this is one of my favorite patterns, especially in this case it would have worked. And there are many other cases like let's see, right here too. I tried to trade this too. It's another kind of like a mini flag. So here to here. Now these patterns don't really work well during midday because there's not as much volume compared to the beginning day. If you guys can see in the afternoon, the volume is much less. It's probably reduced by 50% compared to the morning. So you want to be prepared for the volatility in the morning, and have a plan ready. Pick your stocks and have a plan. So if you don't have a plan, well, you're gonna be most likely end up, missing out, or chasing, or having FOMO, and end up, trading at the backside of the move. So you want to always be prepared in the morning and be prepared, have a good solid plan. If you try to, most traders, some traders just, tried to ask me why they lost money, during these times in the afternoons. Because the volume is lower and there's less volatile. So it's not much money to be made, and it's less volume. Say you find the most A plus setup stock, and the scanner, pre-market, setting up. See, find the most A plus ups. Setting up. Will you take the stock pre-market on the dip because of high conviction confidence, or will you wait till open? Well, yes. If I see a really good setup, like if the market's like super hot and I see like, for example, maybe FTFT, and I see another name. Okay, so like you said, remember you talked about IPDN, and then you saw FTFT. It looks almost exactly the same, right? And we're still in a very hot market. I would definitely trade FTFT. I would wait for a dip, and then just if what IP if IPDN went up right in the morning, I expect FTFT to do the same. And if it has the same news and the same intraday chart or pre-market chart or setup, I'm definitely going to be taking that trade. There's an example I did. I took a trade on EVK a while back. I don't remember exactly what was the news, but there was a very it was a strong market that time. I waited for a dip. Well, I let it go up a little bit in the first minute, but within the second minute when it pulled back, I told myself, "Oh, this setup, I really have super high conviction. When this pulls back, I'm adding as much shares as I can on this pullback." And right after I did that, it just went straight up because this was the setup I was looking for. I've been waiting for because I've seen this setup before, and I also had this setup in my daily analysis. Um, And I'm like, okay, when this setup comes up again, I'm definitely taking and going in. So yeah, usually if it's a very obvious setup, I'll go in and I will usually take a dip buy. But if the market's kind of iffy or if it's just way too crazy, um, I will just kind of sit out. Also, if I see like a bunch of names capping up like huge, I necessarily never take those trades when they cap up over 100% because they're just way too overextended. I'd rather let the stock go or let it dip first, consolidate, and then when it rips above, I'll wait for a pattern then. Then if it does go even higher, I'll look for sympathies. When someone is still under PDT rules and only have a day trade or left or two, what recommendations do you have for choosing the right stock? In this world, we just need to pick one. Keep a step stop loss, the best. I was type and as I was typing this, they found the answer to it, but I feel there's more to say. Please do. So when I was under PDT and you only have one day trade or two left, basically it comes down to, well, is this stock worthy of playing? Is this stock, worth a day trade? Now, if it's just a 10 or 5 cent scalp, I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather, play stock that has huge potential, and you only need three of those. If you play, if all you do is just play stocks that have huge potential, your account will grow exponentially, much quicker. Instead of looking for scalps. Um, Even if you see like a flag pattern, the flag pattern might just be the flag pattern. That's the only if that's your only reason of playing that stock because of the flag pattern, I don't think that's worth a 1 day trade. But you know, if it's a flag pattern and it's Bitcoin related, since it's been hot, it has news, Bitcoin news, like FTFT, for example. If the momentum and volume is there, then that's worthy of a day trade. So it's when you have a bunch of stocks in front of you and you have to pick one, you just have to say which stock is the best stock to pick. What's worthy of my day trade? And once and you basically easily see it out one, you see them out one by one. Having a criteria, does it have news? Is a volume there? Is momentum there? Is the trend there? Is the trend very strong? And once you have those criteria, then okay, maybe it's worthy of my day trade. I'll take a stab at it. So the more reasons of why you want to buy this stock, the better. If you only have one reason, it's because it just is a pattern. You're just playing based off pattern. Well, that's not good enough for me. I would need something that has news. I need something that has strong momentum and a lot of volume. And people, you want to be trading where the money's at. So that's how I, choose what stock is good, what stock is not. One last thing. All right, so I didn't trade today on my 1K account, but I could show you guys. Let's see. I could show you guys. Let's see. Robinhood of my previous trades. So my most recent trade on this was XNet. So I had bought 225 shares at 421, and I sold the rest at 446. So that's about a 20-cent move right there. Um, Not the best. I think XNet went even higher or something like that. But that's it. Let's see. GNUS. Wow, I traded this thing a lot. I don't know. This is in the past actually. Oh wait, no. This was what is this? Not GNUS. Not this was a bad swing. Before I had $1,000, guys, I had only $1 in it, and I just went YOLO swing on GNUS because I heard Arnold, the bodybuilder, he was investing in it. Well, it turned out to be I lost 70% of my $1. So yeah, forget about that. ACST, this was a swing that also went pretty bad. I really thought it could go. I bought 2,000 shares of it at 49 cents and sold the rest at 51. 2 cents. Terrible. And now it's going higher, so it is what it is. And I think that's pretty much it in the start of January. Oh wait, here's ANTE. So ANTE right here, I think this is my other third one right here, third trade. Um, about 300 shares at $3. Well, I bought at 297 actually. I put a limit order at 3, and I bought it at 297. Sold the rest at 321. 20 cents share, 20 cents per share again. Um, I think this name went even higher too. I uh, kind of stopped out on this one either too. So that's the problem with my small account right now. I've been trying to get in trades, but then stopping out too early, and not letting it, breed. So like I said, I'm also trading on two other different accounts too. Um, I had this account, my IRA, my main account. That's a lot of accounts. So um, it's kind of been tough, but I should be more patient on my. That's the thing. That's one lesson for me on my Robinhood. One of my mistakes is I'm taking it too quickly. I'm stopping out. I'm not letting it go. Being too not being patient, basically. So um, but I'm working on that. So and sometimes I forget about Robinhood, but I really want to continue to grow this account and show you guys it's definitely possible to grow, a small account. I started a year ago with just about $1,000 too, last year, and now I last year I made over 1.3, 1.4 million just from that 1,000 last year, and it just came from consistency and just studying and learning about all of my previous trades and what's going. So it just takes time and just consistency, basically. Uh, yeah, no problem, man. Um, yeah, no problem. Just come on anytime. If you guys have to go, you can go. Um, love the G wagon. Yeah, unfortunately, my G wagon is in service. It's a brand new car and it already has an engine light on. Alright, let me just stop the stream real quick.